Welcome, code crackers. This is Violinigma. The power to play any piece of music in the world now rests right here at your fingertips. In the Violinigma package you downloaded, you're going to find a snazzy artistic cover page, 2 pages of the actual note decoding guide. And those go side by side horizontally like this, the fingering chart. An Amazing Grace music sheet as our first code to crack, and an optional slide guide. I invite you to be a kid again and cut this out like an activity on the back of a cereal box. Then you'll be able to slide this along the decoder page for easier viewing. The horizontal lines on sheet music are called the staff, and we're going to look at where the dots are positioned on the lines or spaces of the staff. We're going to find the same one on the note decoder page and then follow straight down to find the tab. And tab just means what finger on what string. So it's a code for being able to play anything on violin without having to read sheet music. It doesn't matter if the dot is solid or open or has little dots after it or little flags. Those are all indications of rhythm, and all we're concerned with now is finding the notes on the violin fingerboard. So let's just take a look at our first note on Amazing Grace. The dot is on the space just below the lowest line of the staff. So that keeps us over here in this world on the left page, and there she is. Ta-da! So it's a D note, and it can be played either with an open D or a 4G. My fiddle teachers told me, play the open whenever you can. How's that for words to live by? So let's just come over here, put in open D. Let's get the second note while we're here. We're on the second line from the bottom. So let's just move up. Nope, nope, nope. There it is. 3D. Now, anytime in here is when you can come take a look at the fingering chart. Extra little reference there just to show where the fingers go. We number the fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4. In my full teaching program, Jenny's Daily Lessons, I have some very specific guides about how to measure and tape your fingerboard so that you'll know exactly where those fingers need to go. So watch to the end of the video for a special Code Breakers only offer so that you can join and get all of the tips and tricks. Meanwhile, it helps to do a song that you really know that's recognizable to start, like Amazing Grace, and that your ear is actually going to guide the positioning of where those fingers go. So I'm going to keep working through this first line of Amazing Grace. If you'd like to do it on your own first, you can just go ahead and press pause. We've got the middle line, B, 1A. Then we have that same note again, 3D. Then we have the 1A again. And we're going to go down to that space just below, which is going to be an open A. We're back down on that second line, which we starting to be a familiar friend here in this piece, the good old 3D. And now here's a new note we haven't done yet. The first line of the staff, the very bottom line, is an E note, just played on the violin as a 1D. And then we have our open D again. And let's play it and see how it sounds. There is one catch to look out for when code breaking, and that is the sharps and flats. You may have noticed we have some of these symbols floating around on our Violinigma. This one that looks like a number sign is the sharp, and that takes your normal note and or whatever you put it on, whatever you put this next to, and it raises it 1/2 step. The flat does the opposite. It lowers it down in pitch 1/2 step. And on the violin, up is towards you. Higher in pitch means you have to make the string shorter. So it'll be, a little bit up. And then lower or flat means it's going to be a little bit down this way, which makes the string longer, which makes the pitch lower. The natural is a symbol that you don't see as much because if there's nothing there, it's already natural. So this is just something that will put it back to normal if you have had to change it to one of these. And the two main things to look out for with this, if these symbols appear at the beginning of the piece, like they do here in Amazing Grace, we have a sharp here at the beginning. That's the key signature, which means that all versions of that note will remain altered for the whole piece. For example, on Amazing Grace, we do have a sharp here appearing at the beginning of the piece, the beginning of each line. That is the key signature. So let's look at what line that is on. It's on the top line. So we can come over here to our Violinigma, and when you come to the top line, you'll find that that's the F note. And just to the right of that, there's the F with the sharp there. So that is the one that you would be looking for if you encountered an F in a piece with this key signature. And now that we know that this is the F that it's making sharp, you have to know that all versions of the F are going to be sharp. So if you look over on the left page, there's some Fs lower on the violin fingerboard, and that would be lower on the staff. And it would be messy if they put the sharp on every single F, so they just put it on one. And then you have to know if you find a lower F that you're going to want that F sharp down there too. So if you look at your left-hand page, you see the regular F is a low 2D and the F sharp is a 2D. So if we encountered that lower F in this piece, we'd want to put 2D in on our tab. Amazing Grace lets us off the hook because it doesn't have any Fs. So it makes it another kind of more easier piece to start with. So that's the one thing to look out for. And then the other thing is that if the symbols appear just in the middle of the piece, you actually will see them there next to the note. They are called accidentals. And they then last only one bar. So the accidental will continue until the next vertical line that sort of stops that bar, and then you'll be reset to the key signature. Or if another accidental comes in and tells you to change it back. And that's where you may see something like this natural piece bringing it back after they just wanted you to do one or two of the sharp or flat version. And just one other little note. So this whole system of music that everybody has agreed on for some time now of calling the notes names A through G, it makes so much more sense once you see it on a piano. If some of this seems weird on the violin fingerboard, you're not alone. It is weird. Some of the frequently asked questions are like, why, if it's called a C natural, why is the C natural played with a low 2? Like, why isn't that a C flat? If things like that have ever crossed your mind, again, you're not alone. And I answer all of those questions along with all of the tips and tricks that I wish I had when I was first learning as an adult in my membership program, which is called Jenny's Daily Lessons. For example, we have more fun sheets where you can learn why a scale is the way that it is, what it looks like on a piano right next to what it looks like on your violin. And so a lot of things will click into place. I could try and tell you all about the different things you'll learn and how fun it is, but I'd rather just let you check it out for yourself. So I'm offering a limited time special for you code breakers. Right now you can get your first month for just $1. Go in, take a look around, have some fun, learn some things, and see what it's all about. There's no commitment. You can cancel anytime with a quick email. And again, you'll have all access to my 5-minute a day learning program, plus a bunch of great violin sheet music for code cracking. Sign up today while this code breaker special is still on, and I'll see you inside the program.